And allow yourself some audible exhales here in this Viparita Karani. Just to connect to calming the nervous system. And as you exhale out, just you can connect your breath to a reverse blood flow, just allowing energy to return back to the heart. And as you continue with those exhales, maybe audible exhales, might wiggle your fingers and toes just to get a little movement, a little sensation. So definitely good when the moon is full, be for the next few days at its fullest, to really give yourself time to slow down if you need. It is in the sign of Aries, which is very fiery, very much can feel like you need to do or lead, and to reflect on those qualities, maybe plant some seeds. Take action when the moon isn't at its highest. And then let's move in ankle rotations, just circling the feet. And time to go both directions, still spreading the toes. How spreading the toes connects you to those energy lines that move through the body. And then once you've done ankle rotations each direction, we're going to just do some heel slides. So we'll start with the right heel, trying to keep those legs hip distance apart. We're going to slide the right heel down towards the right hip. Notice if the right knee wants to move in or out from the center. And then just slide your right heel foot up the wall. So we exhale, slide the left heel down the wall, left foot down the wall. Inhale, extend up. And so we'll just do a couple more sets. Really being mindful to keep those legs in that true hip distance apart, which includes the knees, includes the toes, includes the ankles. And then once you're done with those flexion and extensions of the legs, you might bounce the knees and feel the backs of the legs bounce against the wall. And then let's go to recline pigeon from here. So we'll start with the right foot, bringing the right foot to the left inner thigh. You could use that right hand, gently massage the right inner thigh with the heel of the hand, pressing that leg towards the wall, right leg, thigh towards the wall. And stay or move into crossing that right ankle over the left thigh. And you might keep your arms out to the sides, or you can place your hands on your belly, just as a guide on where to direct your breath. Leading into your center. And then you could slide your left heel down the wall, but making sure the back, lower back and hips stay connected to that prop or the floor if you're not using the prop. Still breathing into the lower belly and lower back. We can wag our tail from side to side, moving those hips. Even as the knees now are moving side to side with the hips. Just trying to keep that alignment with ankles, knees, and hips as you move the legs if you are rocking. We'll come back to neutral. Let's inhale, slide, extend that left leg up, uncross the right leg, and we'll bounce the backs of the legs against the wall to go to the second side, left foot to right inner thigh. We can start with that massaging, using that left hand and massaging that left inner thigh, gently pressing the thigh towards the wall. And then we can cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Keeping the arms to the side again, or bring your hands onto your belly. Not only the hands on the belly can be a guide for your breath, but also just to check in if we're holding anywhere in the diaphragm. Where can we encourage a little more movement with the breath? And then we can slide the right heel down the wall, again, making sure to keep the lower back and hips relaxing to the ground. And this is where you might start to move the hips from side to side. And again, you can feel those legs rocking side to side, internal, external rotation. Keeping that alignment with the heels, ankles, knees, and hips. All right, and then we come back to center, extend the right leg, uncross the left leg. Let's bounce the backs of the legs against the wall or towards the wall. And let's do a few breaths here in this reclined position in Baddha Konasana. So we bring both soles of the feet together. And we can use those hands once again to massage the inner thighs. You can massage the inner thighs. You could massage maybe even your inner calves. You could use your thumbs, just massaging the muscle tissue, the space between the muscle tissue and the bones. And just to increase some more blood flow circulation. Then from this Baddha Konasana, we'll do the 3 rounds of drawing the knees together, letting the knees open, breathing in a 4-count breath. We'll start with the knees open and exhale out. Then use your hands as you inhale, slowly close the knees. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, open the knees. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, close the knees. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, open. 4, 3, 2, 1. And again, we'll close. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. We'll keep the knees closed. 4, and then walk or slide your feet to the right as we come out into a fetal position from that legs up the wall. And as you exhale, relaxing into the earth. And then let's use those hands and slowly lift the body up to seated. And then we'll come out to the mat or more center space for your practice today. And then we're going to go into tabletop. If you need cushion under your knees, feel free to. You can bring your blanket in or any other cushion you might need. And we're going to go through our cat and cow spine. And so I encourage, as we go through cat and cow spine, to focus on moving the spine wherever it might feel a little tighter. So starting in that sagittal plane, long spine, tabletop, let's move the hips back and reach the heart forward. And lifting more from the lower or upper spine, rounding, looking towards the belly button. And then we'll try a few more passes, hips back, heart forward, breathe in. Exhale, rounding. Making sure to keep space between the bones of the spine as you move the spine. Now you could stay in that sagittal movement or start to add the hips, guiding the hips to the right heel, the left heel, shift into the left palm, the right palm. Doing 3 to 4 of these passes as you move in the hips. We're going to take time to reverse. Exhaling back, inhaling forward. Circling from your center of gravity. All right, and then from here, we're going to go to supported child's pose. So if you have a blanket underneath you, you can keep it there. If you want to support your knees, back to the legs, you might take that blanket and put it behind your knees. And then we'll have those 2 blocks and your pillow. Choosing the height for your blocks, or maybe just using 1 block in your pillow. You don't need to have the torso up that high. Making sure that block can support underneath your head. Before folding, you might lift your spine, feel space between the vertebra, and then take time to fold into the props. And relaxing into the earth. First connecting to that support of the props. Inviting your body to relax into the props. Inviting as you exhale the heart to soften with the exhale. As the heart softens, feel the breath move out on the exhale, out the fingers, out the toes. Connecting to that support and connecting to that surrender. Gentle dance like yin and yang. Fire, water, sun, moon. And then we're going to just add that head rotation to look to the other side if you'd like. Press into the palms, lift up the torso to rotate the head to look to the opposite side, laying down, closing neck stretch. Let's connect once again that exhale to softening the heart. Maybe with that audible exhale. And as you exhale, feeling the exhale move towards the fingers and toes, feeling space, letting go. Now, if you're wanting to stay in this child's pose a little longer, please do. If you're ready to come out of it, press your palms into the ground, lift your torso up, and rotate your head to center. And we'll slowly lift the spine, the torso up to set the block or blocks to the side, bolster to the side, pillow to the side. We're going to come back to that tabletop. So if you need that cushion underneath your knees that maybe you put behind your knees, you could bring it in front of you again. As we arrive back in tabletop, we're going to do some leg extensions. So just to bring blood flow circulation back into the knees, sending one leg back and then the other. Okay, and then we're going to go into some wrist stretch here from the tabletop. So let's spin the left pinky fingers in, the left thumb out, and that might feel like enough. We'll just do one hand at a time today. Your right thumb and index finger can frame that left wrist. And if you need more stretch, slide your shoulders down from your ears and start to bring your hips back towards your heels. Keeping the toes tucked can feel like a nice support. We'll do about 3 to 4 breaths here. And then just feel those shoulders come over the wrist, release the left hand, square the hands off, fingertips pointing forward, and we go to the second side. So we'll spin the right fingers out, pinky finger in, thumb out. Use your left thumb and index finger to frame that right wrist. And then either stay or slide your shoulders down from your ears and feel your hips come back towards your heels. 3 to 4 breaths here. That wrist and forearm stretch. And then we can come forward so the shoulders are over the wrist. Release the right hand, shake it out, bring those fingers forward. Now we're going to go into supported fetal or maybe a twist if you're wanting to twist today. So if you have a blanket underneath your shins, you might set it to the side. And we're going to grab 2 pillows and a block. If you don't have 2 pillows, you could use a blanket and a pillow. We'll start on the right side, and you'll probably have the similar height to what you had for child's pose. So you can bring that pillow on top of the block just so that that block is underneath your head. And then we can grab that bolster. You might not need the block, or excuse me, the block. So you could just do the 2 pillows or the blanket and the pillow. So stack the legs. We've got that right hip snug up against the bolster, first laying down in your fetal position. If having that left arm over does not feel good, you could definitely just keep that left arm along your left side body. That'll also help just with the stacking of the shoulders and the hips if that's feeling better for your practice today. So just like we felt in child's pose, you're going to feel that support of the props or the floor below you. And feel that space between your body and the props. Encouraging to send more breath into that space between. And once you've connected to breathing into that space between, you could start to bring in that pause in the breath. So the top of the inhale, practicing pausing for 1 to 2 counts. And the bottom of the exhale, practicing pausing for 1 to 2 counts. And when practicing with that breath hold, feeling less of a restriction, but more of an expansion into that space of feeling full, and then also into that space of letting go. Inviting both to feel expansive. Now, for those of you that are wanting to twist, you could press into your palms, rotate your navel towards the pillow, and look away from your knees. Only if twisting feels good for your practice. And so just like we practiced in child's pose, we can slide our shoulders down from our ears, and on your exhale, connect to the fingers and the toes, the spaces between the fingers and the toes. And we'll think about going to the other side. So if you're twisting, just press your palms down. Even if you're not twisting, you can press your palms down, lift your torso up, lengthen your spine, and let your head look back towards your knees. So just lay back down if you're already looking that direction. 3 more breaths here. And then we'll come out of this. So we'll press into the palms, we'll reach our hips to the ground and slowly come up to seated. We'll either roll to the opposite side, or if you want to keep facing the direction you are, just shift your props to the other side of the mat. Bring a block underneath the other side of the mat, and then we can bring the pillow or blanket between the thighs, sitting on the left hip now. So just sitting on the other side. We'll start in that fetal position, laying down. Feel that support of the pillow underneath your left side. Of course, if that right arm rolling forward does not feel good on the chest and shoulders, just line your right arm along the right side of your body. And we connect once again to how the left side of the body is connected to the pillow. And then breathing into that space between the left side of the body and the pillow. Coming back to that practice of space between. And then invite back the pause. Feeling that pause. Top of the inhale. Less restriction, more expansion. And same at the bottom of the exhale. Less restriction, more expansion. Now staying in this fetal, or we bring in our twist. Rotating the navel towards the pillow and looking away from the knees. The twisting feels good. Otherwise, bringing the head back the direction the knees are pointing. Just like we practiced in child's pose. Shoulders slide down from the ears. And feeling how the breath can connect to those fingers and toes on the exhale. Twists are very supportive posture for helping us release anything we no longer need physically, mentally, energetically. And that audible exhale out the mouth can assist with that. Let's try a couple more breaths, whichever variation you're practicing. All right, and then we'll press into the palms, reach the hips to the ground, lift the torso up. If you're twisting, just to rotate your head to look the direction your knees are pointing, we'll lay down on that left side. Just a couple more breaths here, easing our way out of this. And then we'll press into the palms, reach the hips to the ground, and slowly come up to seated. And we're going to move into supported bridge from here. So we'll do the bridge variation with the strap around the legs and have at least one of your blocks near you. And if you want that cushion behind you for your head, you might bring your blanket to the back of the mat. But we'll loop up our strap. And if you want to check it, check in with the arms inside to check the distance of the loop can be helpful. And then we bring our legs inside. Okay, finding your way onto your back. Make sure that that block is near you. But we'll practice a few rounds of breath on our back, our legs in the strap, just to feel, and you might even practice it. Feel how the outer legs compress into the strap. At 5% of your effort, you might press out into the strap. At the same time as your outer legs compress out, can you feel the inner leg muscles come in? It's like we're stretching the insides of our legs. But as we activate the legs, like we practiced in legs up the wall earlier, you might bring your hands to your belly and notice if there's any tightness in the belly as you activate the legs. If there is, see if you can send breath there, inviting in softness, a softening. And then when you're ready, let's lift up to that supported bridge. So arms by the side, thumbs outside the hips. Feel the four corners of your feet into the mat as you peel up your spine. To then place that block underneath your pelvis, first or second level. Pelvis comes down. You could re-engage those legs, pressing out into the strap or slightly drawing in. And like we did it, legs up the wall. Maybe you extend your legs out so the heels are on the ground, toes pointed up. Only if that feels like a good stretch for your lower back and it doesn't compress the lower vertebra. If it does, walk your feet in until you feel that pressure release in the lower back. If your shoulders are feeling good today and you want to reach those arms overhead, do. Today you could even hook the thumbs, hook the right thumb on top of the left as you reach back. Gently pulling on the thumbs. Feel how pulling on the thumbs, if you can connect to opening the back. If you are hooking the thumbs, switch whatever thumb is on top. All right, and then if your arms are overhead, gently bring your arms down by your sides. And then if your legs are extended, gently bring your feet back towards your hips. And then from here, we're going to step into the feet. We're going to lift the hips up off the block, slide the block out, and lower down, upper spine, middle spine to lower spine. As your back arrives onto the mat, once again, feel the outer legs press towards the strap, inner legs gently squeeze in. Belly is soft to receive the breath. And then at your own pace, we're going to float those feet off the mat, slide the strap off of the legs. We'll keep the strap for Padagustasana. Let's step the right foot into the strap. Extend your right leg towards the sky. Press through that right heel, calf and hamstring. As you pull back on the strap, shoulder blades relax to the ground. So this Supta Padagustasana A variation first. And then we'll try that reclined pigeon before going into C. So tails of the strap into your left hand, and we're crossing that right ankle on top of the left thigh. You can gently pull down on the strap to maybe assist with the stretch. As that right knee or thigh presses away from you. We'll re-extend the right leg towards the sky, pass the strap into the right hand, and then let's open that right leg out to the right. Any adjustments you need to create more space. That left knee could continue to point towards the sky or open to the left side, half Baddha Konasana. Want to keep the glutes and both sides of the sacrum even on the mat. And then we're going to go to modified or full twist from here. So just like you're drawing both thighs together, we'll inhale, bring the left knee towards the sky, right leg towards the sky. And then we're going to bring the tails of the strap into the left hand to start crossing the right leg over, modified twist. Just feel that cross in the inner thighs, or full twist, bring your right leg all the way over. Now, if your block is on the left side of you, or even if it's not, you might place it underneath your left calf or inner thigh to keep space in your lower back. Left knee could stay bent, or you might extend it straight along the mat. Focus could go to the ceiling, or deeper twist looking to your right fingertips. And then if you, however deep you went into the twist, just like our twisted child's pose or fetal supported fetal, you can breathe into the spine, breathe into the back. And then press through the heels, calf, and hamstring of both legs, just pressing away from the center, whatever direction that is for you. And then we're going to inhale, bring the right leg up towards the sky. Go ahead and bend your left knee if you extended it. And let's do one more of those pigeons with the strap. So tails of the strap can go into the left hand and cross the right ankle over the left thigh. You might choose to float your left foot off of the mat. Even if you're floating the left foot off, you could still pull down gently on the strap with your right hand. Let's release the left foot, re-extend the right leg up, step your left foot into the strap, bring your right foot down to the ground. All right, and we're going to press the left heel, calf, and hamstring away from your center. As you pull down on the strap, feel your shoulder blades relax into the floor. Keeping the belly soft as you 4 to 6 count inhale, 4 to 6 count exhale. You could stay here, go to that reclined pigeon variation. You can bring the tails of the strap into the right hand and cross the left ankle over the right thigh. You could use your left hand to gently massage your left thigh away from you. And then let's extend the left leg up towards the sky. Tails of the strap into the left hand. Open your left leg out to the left. Your right knee can open to the right. Feeling the inner thigh stretch. We're going to keep both sides of the glutes and sacrum even onto the ground. And then we'll inhale. Bring the thighs together, left leg comes up, right knee comes up, and we'll go to that twist. So tails of strap can go into the right hand, and we'll cross the left leg across the body. And full twist if you'd like. If you use that block on the other side, just move it to the right side of your mat and bring that left inner calf or ankle thigh on top of block. And maybe you extend your right leg. Focus to the ceiling or looking to the left. Feeling for softness in the belly to receive the breath. And then press through the heels, calves, and hamstrings in both legs. Traction variation. We'll come back to center again. Bring the left leg towards the sky. You can bend your right knee up towards the sky. Let's do that recline variation again, crossing the left ankle over the right thigh. This time, you might float your right foot off of the mat. Still 5%, maybe pulling down on that strap that's around the foot. If you floated the right foot up, set it down. We're going to extend the left leg and then remove the strap. Setting both feet to the ground. We're going to go up to supported bridge once more while we're here. So from here, you're going to have your block near you. We're going to just go to that first level with the block. So feel the four corners of the feet on the ground. We're going to peel up lower spine, middle spine. Place that block first level underneath the pelvis. And once again, we feel that support in supported bridge. It could feel nice in this moment to do some cat and cow pelvic tilts. Feel the tailbone release down, lengthen towards the earth. Tailbone either reaches straight forward towards the short end of your mat or up towards the sky. And then the pelvis comes back to neutral, and we're going to float the right foot off of the mat, holding onto the shin or hamstring. And then you could extend your left leg out along the mat, starting with the left heel remaining on the ground. And already you might be feeling that stretch in your left quad, hip flexor, front of leg. And that might be enough for you today. But if you want to do that pendulum movement of lever pulley, pulling the right thigh down to the ground, the right heel floats up, release the pull, the left heel comes back down to the ground. 2 more if you're practicing that, if that feels good. Getting into that psoas muscle, helping to open the lower back and the hips. After you've practiced 3 of these, let your left heel come to the ground, extend your right leg out, and you might bounce the knees, feeling the backs of the legs shake down to the ground. Breathe in. And then we can exhale out, walk the feet back towards the hips, and we're going to try the second side. So we'll exhale, float the left foot off the mat. You can extend your right leg out. Keep the right heel on the ground to start. And that could be your variation, or we could do that lever pulley, pulling the left thigh to the ground, right heel floats up off that after that pull, and then release the pull, right heel comes down. So we do a couple more. Try to link your breath and your movement. Inhaling one direction, exhaling the other. And so after about 3, the next time that right heel comes down, let's re-extend the left leg out along the mat. You can bounce the backs of the legs to the floor, and then let's walk our feet back towards our hips. As the feet arrives, feel the 4 corners of your feet on the mat. Now you don't have to rush out of this supported bridge, but if you are ready, feel the 4 corners of the feet, lift the pelvis up, grab that block, remove it, lower your spine down, upper spine, middle spine to lower spine. Arms could stay to the sides or hands could touch the belly. Breathe into those hands. Windshield wiper the knees. And with that windshield wiper knees, decide which direction you'd like to roll to for field position, left or right, either one. We'll find that side, rolling to that side. And we practiced in supported fetal position, feeling that space between the body and the floor, the body and the earth. Breathing into that space. And then we can find our hands onto the ground, reach our hips to the ground, and slowly come up to seated. 1 vertebra at a time. Head comes up last. We're going to go to belly down next. So if you want to put something underneath the pelvis, like your rolled up blanket, folded up blanket, or even a pillow, you can do that. And then I'll offer half bow from that position. And if you have practiced it and you know you don't like that support underneath the pelvis for half bow, I would just skip that for today. But it could feel nice just to open up the sacrum. So if you want to try it with that pillow, you can bring that pillow to the middle of the mat. And then we grab our strap. And we're going to go belly down on top of that pillow, so that the pillow is right underneath the pelvis. So you've got that support in the front body. Then is allowing that back body to widen, to open, the glutes and the sacrum. And then your choice, if you want to rest on one cheek. Nice to keep the forehead on the earth, either one. But I would encourage here to feel for the space between the bones of the spine. And especially if you feel any tightness in the lower belly, lower abdomen. Can you send more breath there? And breathe with a softness. Also feeling that space move into the legs. Might feel a softer variation for that space like we felt in bridge when we had the strap around our legs. You could stretch out the inside of your bones, inside of your muscles. Now, if you're wanting to do that half bow, you can grab that strap, and if you still have that loop around the strap, you can place that strap around your left foot. And we're drawing that left heel to hip. Now, it's going to feel more restorative to keep the left knee down, and that's okay for this variation today. And if you have your head looking to one side, you could stay there. Try at least 6 breaths in this first variation. So once again, feeling that there's a softening in the belly. And now, if you'd like that variation, kick your left foot into the strap and your left thigh might lift up. You keep your head to the side, but sometimes with this extension, it feels better to bring the forehead down to the mat. Try at least 3 breaths here. So we're getting that psoas again in a different variation. Stretching with gravity in a different way. After about 3 breaths, if you did lift the left knee, let it come down. Feel the left heel come to the hip, and we're going to set up for the other side. Remove the strap off of the left foot. You might bounce the back of the left leg. And let's try the second side. Looping that strap around your right foot. And we'll start with the right knee on the ground as the right heel comes to hip. And if you were looking to one side, just try to balance out the neck stretch. Let the head look to the opposite side. Breathing into the lower belly with the softness, space. And so here, if you want to add kicking the right foot back, reaching the right foot up, so we get that deeper psoas stretch. With that, you might keep the forehead down on the ground. Try at least 3 breaths here. Feeling for space and softening in the lower belly. And then we can exhale, lower the right knee to the ground. Bring the right heel to hip. And then let's remove the strap. Set the strap to the side. And you could keep that pillow underneath the pelvis if you'd like, or remove it. We're going to just do very gentle windshield wiper legs. And if you keep the pillow there, you're probably going to move a little less. So if you're wanting to move more, you might kind of roll to one side, slide that pillow out, and come back to your belly. And then let the legs drop from one side to the other. Okay, now yogi's choice, either going to a fetal or we'll go back to child's pose. So you can extend the legs, slide the hands back by the chest, forehead down. Press into the palms to fetal position or come back to your child's pose. Let the hips in the back stretch. If you came back to child's pose, you could wag your tail from side to side. Feel that lower back release, opening. Inhale through the nose, exhale out the mouth. And then press into your palms wherever you're at. Child's pose or fetal position, press down. Reach the hips to the heels and then roll up through the spine, stacking one vertebra at a time. Let that head come up last. Okay, so we're gonna go into Shavasana now. So if you want to just do corpse pose, you can, just laying flat on top onto your back. If you want to really have assistance with connecting to gravity, you might bring that pillow in, place it over your torso. Maybe wrap your arms around it just to draw that awareness, that energy down. And if you're wanting to keep your body temperature warm, you place a blanket over yourself as well. So we'll invite back that practice of that pause or feeling that space between the inhale and the exhale. Go into Shavasana today. Also invite in that image of that bright full moon. Full moon times to be a time of clarity, reflection, transformation, and maybe even letting go. In that sign of Aries, asking us to awaken into how are we being a leader? How can we be a leader, not only for ourselves, but others? Just inviting in that clarity. You don't have to think too much on it, but just in that space of rest, being open to receive. Inviting as you come back to your breath, to start the breath at the lower torso, lower belly, lower back space. Back to your breath with that pause, while pausing. 1 to 2 counts at the top of the inhale, pausing. 1 to 2 counts at the bottom of the exhale. And squeeze your thumb pad against each finger pad. Say we have those planets. Each finger has a planet and an element it's connected to. So just activating that within yourself. Start to wiggle your toes. Time moving stretching, or just roll to the side that feels best for you, fetal position. And then when you're ready, slowly take your time. Lift yourself up to seated. And we'll meet with a hand over the heart, a hand over the belly. Just connecting to your center. Take a moment to bow your head in to you. All that has been, all that's yet to come, all that's brought you to this moment now. Just a sense of gratitude. This human experience. All that feels amazing, all that feels challenging. Just breathing into all of it. Bring the hands to meet in front of the heart. Thank you for sharing your practice today. Namaste.